Most men honestly think that they're burnt out because of work, but that's actually far from the truth. You're not burnt out because you're lazy. You're not burnt out because you're unmotivated. You're burnt out because you've been strong for everybody except for yourself. Being burnt out, it's really not about workload. It's about unreleased responsibility. It's about unreleased pain. It's about pressure that you never had the opportunity to actually put down. Now, if you wake up exhausted, if you feel numb, if you're feeling disconnected from life, if you feel like you're running on fumes, it's not because you can't handle life. It's because life never gave you time or gave you room to breathe. So I want you to stay with me because this might be the first time that someone actually explains what you've been feeling. I'm gonna be honest in a way men usually aren't. You know, I spent most of my life suppressing my emotions, not because I wanted to though, but because I believed honestly no one cared. You know, your kids, they still need you. And your partner, they still need you. Your job, honestly, they still need you. Your parents need you, your siblings need you, everyone needs you. So what happens? What happened to me? I buried everything, basically for everyone else. I hid sadness behind strength. I hid exhaustion behind responsibility. I hid emptiness behind performance. And I did it because that's how men are basically raised to be, especially when you're the oldest. So I've shared this. I'm the oldest of 8. And for me, there's a 5-year gap to the next. Then the rest, they all came along back to back, right? But here's the part that most people don't know. I have a different father than the rest of my siblings. You know, so growing up with a different last name, watching everyone else share the same identity, that kind of pressure, it kind of stays with you. That kind of hurt, it honestly follows you your whole life. You know, being burnt out, it isn't when your body gets tired. It's when your soul runs out of space. Men don't burn out from activity. You burn out from silently carrying everything. You know, for me, there's 3 truths. Burnout, it's emotional, not operational. Burnout, it's accumulative pressure, but not a lack of strength. Burnout, it's identity conflict. It's basically the man you are versus the man that everyone needs you to be. And what that does is that builds up this pressure. And when that pressure is built up, that pressure can either build a man or it can actually destroy them also. You know, there's the pressure to be perfect for one. You gotta be perfect for your family. When you're the oldest, you grow up fast. You become the advisor, you're the example. One mistake, and it feels like a stain on the name. It feels like a mistake or a stain on the entire family, on the bloodline. You know, so you can't make mistakes. You dang near have to be perfect all the time. And then there's the pressure to succeed for everyone else. I play sports, but I didn't play sports for fun. I didn't have the opportunity to play for fun. I played because just maybe I could make it pro. And then I could give my family a better life, that life we kind of never had. But you know, dreams, they don't always go as planned. And that's when shame actually kicks in. And when the shame kicks in, it's a whole nother level of hurt and pain. It's like, I made a comment about this before. It's almost like you're in like this sunken abyss. And that shame, when I say it's crushing, it's like, it is crushing. Like you just wanna go to sleep and not wake up. Then there's the pressure at work, right? At work, it's constant competition. You enter into adulthood, and when you enter into adulthood, you think everything's competition when you're a kid. It's nothing like competition in the workforce. You gotta fight for every promotion. You got to fight for respect. You got to fight for opportunities. You got to fight for security. One mistake at work and it feels like failure at home. If you have one mistake or one issue at work, you almost feel like everything you've worked so hard for is now in vain. Like it's all for nothing at this point. Like that promotion that you wanted, it's not going to happen now. It'll be another 3 to 5 years. And then that pressure, it seeps into pressure at home, pressure of being a father. You know, when you're trying to be a father and you want to be a good father, you try to be present, but you're exhausted from work. And exhaustion, it actually steals your patience. You try to lead your family and you don't have any patience and you're exhausted. What happens is you end up feeling empty. And that emptiness, it stays with you. It becomes like this mind problem. and it hurts. And then there's the pressure to be everyone's stability, right? Men are raised to be the anchor. We are truly raised up to be the anchor. But this is the thing. We never ask who holds the anchor when the storm hits. Seems like it doesn't have anyone to hold it. But what I can tell you is burnout, it's not tiredness. Burnout, it's numbness. It's losing the ability to feel joy. It's losing the ability to dream, to rest. There are different signs that show that you're losing those abilities. You stop dreaming. I can tell you, I stopped dreaming for a long time. Like for the longest, I would go to bed at night and I would wake up and I wouldn't even know, like, I've been asleep because there was no dreams. I was just in this dark cloud or this dark space. The next sign is you can't rest also. Your mind, when you try to dream, when you try to sleep, you can't rest because your mind, it never shuts off. Your mind is constantly running. For years, my mind has ran. If you're like me, if you've gone through this, your mind is constantly running. The next sign is you're physically present, but honestly, you're emotionally gone. Helping your son, your daughter, it feels like too much. Helping them with homework, it's too heavy for you. And it's not because of love, but it's because you're truly empty. Your partner, your wife, your significant other, your spouse, they start to think that you're angry. They think that you're mad with them. They feel like you're beginning to become distant. But the truth is, it's nothing that they're doing wrong. It's just that you're empty. And it's because us as men, we don't have anyone to vent to. I can tell you, I didn't have anyone. And sometimes I still don't have anyone to vent to. And we make mistakes and we mistake vulnerability for weakness. We never stop to breathe. We're always fixing. We're never healing though. But when you're like this, I can tell you, you can't outperform what's breaking you on the inside. So what you have to do is you have to learn how to recover from this. So some steps that you would take to recover from this is you got to first acknowledge the truth. You got to acknowledge that you're carrying too much weight. You're carrying too much pressure. You're carrying too much that you shouldn't be carrying. The next step is you got to stop performing strength. Strength, it's honesty. It's not suppression. Strength is not suppression. It's being honest. The next step, create an emotional space for yourself. Create some type of boundary for yourself. 10 minutes a day. Just 10 minutes a day to be real. Be real and be honest with yourself. Whether that's in your car ride on your way home, whether that's in the car ride on the way to work, just 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Don't pick up the phone, don't listen to music. Just give yourself 10 minutes a day to be real with yourself. Step 4 would be simplify your load. This one for me, this is a big one because in order to simplify your load, you got to cut things out. You got to cut out the things that drain you. You got to begin to say no. And that's hard for men. That's one of the hardest things, to say no when you're always saying yes. But you got to learn how to say no to things. Step 5 would be rebuild slowly. Men, they don't bounce back. They don't bounce back like that. What they do is they rebuild back. So start to rebuild. I can tell you this, you're not burnt out because you're failing. You're burnt out because you've been strong for everyone except for yourself. But burnt out, it's not the end. Being burnt out for you, it's the beginning now. It's the beginning of rebuilding. It's the beginning of rebuilding what basically the man you were meant to be. The man that you were always supposed to be. So I want you to do me a favor. If this felt like this is your story, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you comment that you're rebuilding. Because I can tell you, the next video, we're gonna break down the biggest enemy that men faces. And most of you don't even know this, but I guarantee it, once I said, you know you're dealing with this. And what that is self-sabotage. The patterns that destroy us, even when we're trying our best. But with self-sabotage, I'm gonna break down how to break them. Later.